Peeps, welcome to the very first video of 2018. I want to start this off by saying I hope you had a lovely time bringing in the new year. I hope your festivities went well, all went smooth, and that you guys are ready for a whole new year of plumbing vlogs here on the channel. I was planning on giving you this Q&A over the holidays before the clock struck, before the new year, but one thing led to another, and then what ended up happening is I got food poisoning on the very first day of the year. On January 1st, my stomach wasn't doing well, and I've been recovering ever since, essentially. So today's January 4th. I'm feeling a bit better, but I'm also still not 100%, so I'm just trying to kind of recover and make sure that I have my grounding before I get the videos pumping out the way I want them to. So I just want to thank you guys for being so patient. I also want to thank you for your support over the past few years. So these are the questions I was able to get to that people had sent in. Thank you again for all the questions that you guys took the time to think up and send to me. Here they are in their entirety. I hope you enjoy, and let's have a wicked 2018. Peeps, Kenny Molotov here in the studio doing another Q&A. Let's get down to the questions, and we have actually quite a few. All right, let's start with Abdullah Al-Wakwedi. You crazy ass plumber, you made me look at it as a career. Ever heard about Skilled Trades College of Canada? Let me know, buddy. Okay, Abdullah, first of all, thank you for that awesome message. I'm really happy that you are taking a look at plumbing as a potential career, because it is a good one. It's something that if you enjoy working with your hands and you enjoy problem solving, is definitely going to be something that fulfills both those aspects. I gotta be honest, right off the bat, I had never heard of Skilled Trades College of Canada before. I'm on the website right now on my iPhone. I just want to take a brief look at it for you. These are all pre-apprenticeship programs, and it's something that I've talked about in the past in another Q&A. I'm going to link that right above here right now. So the basic outline of that other video that I had made that sort of really talked about this at length. What I basically state in that video is that if you approach a plumbing company and they can't hire you as an apprentice, it's worth it, in my opinion, to be hired as a general laborer for that company, because you're still going to be working with plumbers. Therefore, your eyes will be over their shoulders and you'll still be getting acquainted with the tools of that trade specifically, right? So I do think there's still value in doing that, even though you're not signed up as an apprentice. And the great thing about that is that if it's documented hours with a company, it can still go towards your apprenticeship after, and you can still get those hours once you sign up as an apprentice. All you have to do is show the documentation that says, look, I wasn't signed up as an apprentice, but I have 450 hours with this company, and they will actually put that towards your apprenticeship. Okay, so that's the great thing. If you can't find work with a plumbing company as an apprentice, and you can't find work with a plumbing company as a general laborer, I would suggest starting to look at the pre-apprenticeship programs of whatever post-secondary institution that you want to go to, because I do think it's useful to get your hands on the tools and get your head in the game. The more you can learn about the trade, and the faster you learn, the more opportunities you'll be able to find. So Abdullah, I hope that helps you. If it doesn't, go up to the other video that I have up here, because I'm sure it's going to answer all the questions that you're hoping for. Thank you for the question, and let's get on to the next one. Alrighty, we have one from Josh McFate. Josh, thanks for reaching out, man. I'm going to take this systematically. What would you say your service work to remodel ratio is? Currently, the season's a little bit different than it has been before. I would say typically for our company, since we have our roots in service is usually 70-30 for us. However, currently with the big coffee shop and with a bunch of other remodels going on, it's actually a bit more. It's sort of like 60 for remodel, 40% for service. So the good thing is Dad and I are splitting our work. So I'm doing a lot of the remodels and Dad's running off doing a bunch of service, and sometimes vice versa. Do you find you like doing remodels over service work, or vice versa? I personally enjoy doing the remodels and the new construction stuff, and that's because I love seeing a job site come to fruition. There's something really satisfying for it. Also, when you're doing service work, I find that sometimes you run into just nightmarish jobs, kind of like in the last vlog that I showed you, which was called The Gong Show Before Christmas. I find that when one thing goes wrong in service, sometimes it's got that quicksand effect, where all of a sudden you're trying to solve an issue and you realize you don't have a part or you don't have a tool, and you got to start running around. And then even after that, you fix that problem and something else shows up, kind of like in that vlog. So service work definitely has its downside for me like that, and that's why I tend to actually gravitate to towards the remodels and also the new constructions. Also, what do you think makes more money for the company, service work or remodels? That's an interesting question because service work and remodels both have their place in plumbing companies and are both necessary for a plumbing company to work. So for example, what I've heard from my teacher from plumbing school, he was saying that the bigger money is usually in the remodels or the new construction. So the thing about service work is that it constantly keeps the ball rolling in regards to money in, money out. You get your money faster usually with service work because you're at a job site one day, you give them a invoice, and then the following week they follow up with a check, or in the following couple of weeks. A lot of times with new construction work or remodel work, you sort of get paid according to how fast the job site is being built. In other words, if your first phase of plumbing takes 3 to 4 months because it's just such a massive place, then you won't get a check till 3 to 4 months later. So what my teacher from plumbing school was saying was that a lot of times the big companies that do have a crew just for high-rise new construction, for example, require the service work to keep the ball rolling in regards to getting money in. That way they can reinvest it into the material for the new construction site. And then after a few months, when the first phase and the first inspection is done, they get a big lump sum of money. So they sorta are necessary for each other. One more is your pop's a really versatile plumber. Like nothing phases him because he's been doing it for so long. I don't know, there's layers to this. My dad's been working with his hands for quite a long time. He's got a history in tool and die, but before tool and die, he was doing plumbing in Russia. I think that's a testament to his problem-solving abilities. And he has just such a great knack for anticipating things that are going to come up or going to be a problem area. I know even to this day there are moments where he sort of stops me and he goes, no, don't do it that way, you have to do it this way. And he tells me the problem he's anticipating, and in my head I'm going, good lord, this guy really knows what he's doing. There have been times, by the way, where I fought him off and I was like, leave me alone, let me figure it out. And then it's taken me way longer because I didn't anticipate that issue. For me, I actually enjoy learning that way, but when you're in a rush, I understand how frustrating it could be for him. I think it does have a lot to do with the fact that he's been doing it for such a long time. He's quite a perfectionist. You know, his pipe work is really, really level, really, really straight. He makes sure that his joints are soldered really nice. Like he sort of has an artistic element to him. I think he's naturally just really detail oriented, which also means that he sort of has developed his problem solving ability to be really, really sharp in that sense. And on top of that, he's been doing it for such a long time. So that formula altogether makes him the man that he is. Josh, thanks again for all those questions. Let's get on to the next one. Trevor Gartner, Kenny, how long did it take you to complete your plumbing school and how difficult was it? I recently seen a vlog you did while doing a couple of tests that looked pretty stressful, lol. By the way, I got your shirt earlier this week, love it, and thanks for the card as well. I'll give you a picture soon. Trevor, thanks for the question, glad you got the shirt. Josh, I hope you got the shirt as well. Let's get on to your question. How long did it take you to complete your plumbing school and how difficult was it? Plumbing school is 8 weeks at a time. So I did basic, it took 8 weeks. I did intermediate, it took 8 weeks. And my advanced plumbing school is going to be another 8 weeks as well. So I still have one more block that I have to eventually do whenever they send me a letter that basically says we're ready to go to have students. Plumbing school is really difficult, I gotta be honest, because there's a lot of content coming at you within a week. And every single Friday you have a test at the end, which keeps you really sharp, but also makes you study quite a bit. I found that first year plumbing school was way easier than second year plumbing school, I gotta say. Even though I had been through the ropes before, second year felt like it was a ton of content. And from what I had heard, and I don't know how true this is, a lot of people were being told that second year is actually the hardest of all 3 years. I don't know if that's true, but it really did feel like it was extremely difficult. And the other hard part about plumbing school is that you build on everything that you did the year prior. So in other words, if you're not sharp on the stuff before, this stuff is just going to compound on you, and you sort of have to start going back and rememorizing things that you forgot within the year span or year and a half span that you weren't at school. So it really keeps you on top of your game. So it definitely is difficult. I don't want you going in thinking it's going to be a breeze, but at the same time, I do think it is accessible. I do think it's very doable. I think it's a reasonable workload, in other words. So I hope my videos didn't scare you too much. It's very, very reasonable, but like I said, you have to start memorizing stuff every single week, so which means that you're cramming the night before, which which was what I was doing, which is, I don't think it's the best way. If I allotted Wednesday and Thursday to memorization, I think I could have made my workload way easier, which is something I hope to incorporate next time I go to plumbing school. Let's get on to the next one. I have one here from Shane Smith. Shane Smith was in the travel vlog with me for Iceland. Shaney goes, Kenny, does it take much time to edit your vlog? As a beginner vlogger, is there a way to quickly edit and post content that you'd recommend? Thanks, Shane. And I also have a couple of them from Lindsay Ven's vlogs. Lindsay is also a subscriber that does vlogs herself. Let me answer Shane's question first, and then I'll go to Lindsay's after. So typically my vlogs take about, I'd say on average around 4 or 5 hours to edit. And the reason why that is because unlike videos like this, which are sort of straight to the point, when you do a vlog, I find that I have to sit back and I have to aim for feel. In other words, I have to sit back and start rewatching things to make sure that one thing didn't take up too much space than the other, that it sort of transitioned comfortably, and that as the story's going on, you as a viewer are not going, geez, why is this time lapse taking too long? Or why is this music too loud? Which is definitely things that I've been guilty of in the past. So it's constantly something that I'm retweaking and relearning. Is there a way to quickly edit and post content that you recommend? I don't know of any quick ways to edit content. Honestly, I think the only way to do it is to sort of grind it out and learn the editing style that you like. But I think one of the easiest ways to sort of get better and not be too stressed about it is just doing smaller vlogs in general. I remember doing a bunch of vlogs that were 4 to 5 minutes in the beginning, which are necessary because at least you're getting the ball rolling in regards to getting the vlog out, and I think that's more important than getting your time allotment between 9 and 11 minutes, which apparently, according to YouTube algorithms, is approximately where you want your video, because that's the best ad revenue that you can potentially get. Shane, I would just suggest editing. Edit like crazy. Edit until you figure out what it is that you're seeing or that you want to be seeing. In regards to speed, do a shorter video. I think that would be the best way to sort of start about and get your hands going. Practice, 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 and that I think is the best advice I could give you. So Ven's Vlogs is asking, yes, I would like to know more about the editing too. Like, how long have you been editing and making videos? Are there any influencers of other YouTubers that have influenced your style? I'm gonna actually take a look at how long I have been on YouTube, because I've had a couple of channels. Oh, so I've been doing it a while. So I joined my gaming channel. I have a gaming channel called Molotov Gaming. I haven't uploaded in a couple of years, actually. I joined September 28th, 2014, and that was the first time I really gave YouTube a go. So it's been almost 3 years. I've been editing for 3 years now. My gaming channel was really the first steps of me learning to edit, and the great thing about gaming is that you can do so many things with a gaming video. I sort of started watching guys like PewDiePie and also Markiplier, and what I really watched out for is how they implemented comedy within just the editing process. So it wasn't necessarily that they were saying anything hilarious, but it was the way they were cutting it that made it almost a comedic journey. And you could do that by enlarging the image like this, or you could do that by adding subtext like this. You can really start to create a journey for the viewer just by adding these extra elements into it. And gaming allowed me to explore that side of it, which I thought was always so cool. As I got onto this channel right here, Kenny Molotov, which I've had for a very long time, but I had it for magic and I had it for comedy, but I didn't start uploading till about a year and a half ago. I did a vlog once just for the hell of it, and that is still my biggest grossing video on its own. The interesting thing is I never really expected to become a vlogger. It sort of fell into my lap, and I realized that there was an audience out here that enjoyed it. So I started catering my editing process and subsequently my shooting process to a vlogging environment. A lot of people that I watch as vloggers are Casey Neistat, who seems to be the god of vlogging, Christian Guzman, who's a fitness vlogger. I watch Peter McKinnon, who's a Canadian videographer and photographer. I also watch Lost LeBlanc, who's a Canadian travel vlogger, and I watch a bunch of people in this sort of subgenre. All those creators really had a big influence on me, and I sort of started coming up with this, I don't know, this beat that I enjoyed to my videos. And I think the biggest influencer for me was Casey Neistat. I think that man knows how to tell a story, you know what I'm saying? And I agree with his initial premise, which is story is king. So the way I actually shoot my videos during the day, they are constantly being shot with me trying to tell you the story of what's happening that day, and I sort of just let the story unfold. So thank you, Lindsay, for that question. So peeps, that's been my Q&A. Thank you guys so much for sending out a bunch of questions. It makes this a lot of fun for me. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. I hope the new year brings only good things. You really are fueling the fire and the momentum that we're getting here, and I really appreciate you guys. So peeps, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you guys very soon. Kenny Molotov, guys. Peace, baby.